right?
Yeah.
Broken is such a dangerous word because something get broken, and it's a lot of times when we think broke, we think it's not fixable.
Mhm.
But nah, that's not the case. It's not like you broke. You just human. Part of being human is having
Yeah.
bumps and scrapes and scars and things that show where you came from. But they all heal. It's just the emotional one. Like I like to say, it's like breaking a finger and you never go get it straightened out and get a cast on it and all that stuff. Same thing mentally. Like something traumatic happens, your brain snaps, and you never go to therapy to put that so called like mental cast on it to straighten it back forward. Then you just walk around with a finger that's crooked the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And you think like, oh, that's not how it is, but you can fix that finger. It's just gonna take a lot more invasive surgery to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I love that. Um, you've developed the 8 week dating program, rooted in the Gottman theory. Am I saying that correct? Gottman?
Yeah, it's Gottman's theory.
Gottman's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If you
And
get a
so,
chance, check them. They're really
okay.
they're really dope. I just want to say that if you get a chance, check out Gottman. It sounds like it's a technical term, but it's really a dude like in his. I think it's a couple. It's a
Mhm.
it's a man and wife, and they're like in their 70s and 80s, and they've been teaching this theory, and it's like research backed, and they have evidence showing that it like heals relationships and it fixes relationships. This is really it's dope. It's dope. I'm going to the training in June, but it's dope.
Okay.
It's dope.
Shoot, man. Send me the info. Maybe I might, we might check that out too.
Yeah, yeah, I should.
We all need a little work.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll put the description for the Gottman's theory in the link below, so you guys can all check that out. But tell us a little bit about the 8 week program that you've developed.
Yeah, and now it actually done turn into a 14-week program now. It actually done kind of
Oh
bulked up
wow.
just because when you're dealing with a lot of past trauma, it could take time just to process that, right? Like one of the things the way I start the program off is by doing a genogram. And a genogram is kind of like a family tree, but instead of just putting names and ages, you kind of dive more deep into the story behind that, right? So like, let's say grandma and grandpa were together, but then grandpa had kids on the side, and then you're doing it from the perspective of the client. So then they looking at that and like, tell me how you felt about that relationship. And then you get into like, oh well, I knew I never want to be like my grandpa, or I never want to have a relationship like that. Which it's like a swing, right? If I try to go the exact opposite, I'm still gonna end up in a place where I don't really want to be. It's really all about balance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the
Ooh.
first thing I do. We do look at those past relationships, the ones that you've seen, the foundation for how you view relationship. Your mom and dad, if they're together or not together, or what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Those things can affect how we see relationships. Some people won't never be married just because they they never seen it, right? Or
Mhm.
this I give you a good one that I see all the time on social media, all the time. It exists before with men, but it's more now happening with women. Like it was the idea of like bitches ain't shit for us. But for women right now, it's the idea that like niggas on shit. Like so you see Dochi going viral with the whole straight man being a bad thing, right?
Mhm.
That's really just trauma speaking out. Like I had a traumatic experience with this type of demographic, and I'm just kind of like putting it on everybody now because I haven't got that
Yeah.
part of me healed. You know, it's
Wow.
the same thing. Like the parents is the foundation for all of that. If my idea is that niggas ain't shit because my dad wasn't shit, and where's the wiggle room for somebody that is shit? Like the bar becomes way lower, so I'm willing to take a lot less bullshit. I mean, a lot
Mhm.
more bullshit. I'm willing to take a
Yeah.
lot more because, oh, they all do this. They all cheat. You know what I'm saying? If that's where my perspective is, then it's
Yeah.
it's not too much
Yeah.
far up to go.
Would you say though? Because to me that sounds like, and I'm no expert or anything, but to me this sounds like someone who is more or less just accepting what is versus setting their own boundaries and standing on them.
Exactly,
And I think,
exactly.
like,
But you got to put the work in that is.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
important. You got to put that work in to what that is because if 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 my ideas of what healthy is that bad, now I got to look into myself now. And a lot of times we get things just from looking out, but you got to look inside yourself and see what do I really truly want from a relationship.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of work that goes into that. That's why it had to go from 8 weeks to 4.